I'm Aaron with the VHC Medical Brigade.
And I'm Mary Ellen, a nurse with the brigade.
And we're here today with one of our eye care brigades. This is one of 3 types of medical teams that we bring to Honduras. And we try to serve low-income and high-needs patients with the medical needs that they need. And so we're on site today. What are we seeing today?
So today we're actually at the Lions Club in Comayagua, which is very similar to the organization in the United States. So we have hundreds of patients that have been asked to come here today so that we can serve them with eye care, provide glasses, provide an examination by an optometrist if they need it. And also, we're seeing some post-surgical patients.
Excellent. Well, why don't we take a look? Let's see what it looks like from the side of one of our patients. One of the things that we do is we have everyone come in on a pre-planned day, and that means that hundreds of people are arriving to the day, and we prepare our entire event with our local partners who send out the invitations, and then as people come in, they can wait in the various waiting areas for their turn. Today we have a few hundred people that we've already seen, at least 200 we've already seen, and we'll probably get to 400 or 500 by the end of the day. So let's go see the second waiting area. This is the overflow we just came from.
I just wanted to mention that the Lions Club of Northern Virginia provided us with 5,000 pairs of glasses, which included readers and sunglasses. So it's a wonderful service.
We should take a look at those because 5,000 is so many. It's hard to even imagine what 5,000 pairs looks like.
You might even want some sunglasses.
Why not? Why not? Well, let's take a look at the back seating room.
Pase.
Adelante. Hola.
Sí. Para ti. Sí.
All right. Pásense. Come on in. So here we are in the waiting room. You can see how well our partners, the Lions Club, have organized their waiting areas. Everyone who comes in has little tickets to identify that they get a space. And then as we move through patients, they all get to move forward in the seats and move until they get to go inside the room. It's a really nice way to make sure that people don't stress about not being seen and to make sure that they know their space is saved. Because we've seen if we don't plan ahead for that people stress a lot about, will I be seen? Will I get my services? And then you have tension and chaos.
Actually, yes. This is one of our partners here. You can tell by the beautiful jacket she is wearing.
Uno de nuestros socios que está acá ayudándonos a ordenar y traer los pacientes para servicios de ojos. Sí. ¿Algo que quiere decir a los donantes o los que apoyan?
Estamos totalmente agradecidos como Club de Leones Comayagua. Es más que un honor poder servir a través de ustedes.
We're delighted to be here. It's just a real honor to be able to serve with you as the Lions Club of Comayagua.
Para todas las personas que en su mayoría son de escasos recursos y que tienen la necesidad de poder tener una mejor oportunidad de ver el mundo de una forma diferente.
So we're just delighted to be here and be able to help people who have needs but have low resources, and so together we can try to make sure they have the very best opportunities.
Gracias y que el Señor multiplique las bendiciones que cada uno de ustedes trae a nuestra comunidad.
So thank you, and we hope that God blesses all the efforts that you've given to multiply these to great blessings for the people. All right, thank you. Gracias.
And if you turn your camera, you can see the back of people's heads, the numbers, and how patiently they wait for their service.
That is amazing.
It is so patient.
people are just amazingly patient.
Yes.
And I know that it's got to be frustrating if you come in and there's several hundred people. But I think one thing that struck me about the brigade is that, as we'll see in a minute, it moves pretty quick.
It does.
And so what we're seeing here, we've already moved more than this many people through.
Right.
And right now it's about 11 a.m.
Exactly.
here in Honduras. So it is moving. People
Right.
are waiting. They might wait an hour or two, but for the ability to see, especially for some of our patients who have not been able to
Yes.
see for years, it's good. And I think part of the reason we have a very high number of people here is with the pandemic, some of the services were cut. And so
Absolutely true. Yes. I think a unique part of this visit is that we are able to see some of our post-surgical patients from November. So another part of our brigade was here performing surgeries. So we're seeing some of our post-cataract patients, which is a great pleasure to be able to follow up.
But it really ties in. We have our
Yeah.
staff here on the ground. We have just amazing medical partners in the U.S. who are at the top of their game and give up their time, pay their own way to come down and do services. But the eye care team that we have right now ties in closely with the surgical team that's going to come in November. Did not last November and will again this November. And it ties in. We've also got a rehabilitation team that's working with persons with disability and such a variety of disabilities that they're serving. Also, that team ties in with sometimes in surgical teams. And so it all works together as much as we can to make sure we're working together and providing more comprehensive service. But one of the things that we found with 23 years of doing this work is it's all about the local partners. So Mary Ellen, you've been working with our local partners for years. Tell us a little bit about some of those partners.
So one of our most prominent partners are the hospitals that we work with. We work with both San Benito Jose, which is a private hospital here in Comayagua, and also the public hospital at Santa Teresa. So those partnerships are crucial to our success, because if we could not communicate with them so they could tell us their needs, there would be no surgery. And we assist each other. It's not that we come down to help only. It is that we are collaborative in our efforts to help people here. And I think that's the most fulfilling for all of us, is that we see success, but we see success through common humanity. And I think that's what drives us all here.
Oh, we lost our connection, it looks like. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Internet connections here are not always great, so, but we do try to work very hard, and I know, Mary Ellen, you work year round to try to make sure that we're not just bringing people, we're bringing people that match the needs that they have raised. We're finding the equipment and the repairs and the support, the training that our partners have already identified. We need this.
True. It's it takes a village.
It does. It really does. Well, speaking of village, we'll keep moving and see a little bit more. All right.
Good.
So
Aaron, I wanted to show you where our patients start once coming into the building.
Excellent.
So they're waiting in line to meet our intake team that will be getting certain data from them.
Let's go see.
Name, age, etc.
So an intake, some little paperwork for our incoming
Not much,
patients.
but it's good to have the record.
Makes sense. It makes sense. This team seems very busy. It's like they've got their work going for them.
And so it doesn't take very long to register the patients here. And once they are finished, they'll proceed up to auto refraction.
Okay, so this is where the real consultation begins then. Well, let's take a look. Let's walk up here and see what we can see. Now, I understand that the auto refraction requires darkness.
Yes.
So it's a little shady here.
Exactly.
All
and
right.
what it's looking for is astigmatism.
Okay.
So it's a very simple machine, but very expensive.
Aren't they all? Aren't they all?
But technologically, it saves so much time. So
let's see if we can get a image of one in use. Gigi, would you be able to show us what is this autorefractor machine that you've got here? Yeah. This looks like a giant Polaroid camera.
I know, right? But it's just an autorefractor, a portable autorefractor, and it takes a baseline of people's prescription.
So it grabs their prescription from a distance then, just by having them sit. All right. Well, we know that you all need darkness, so we don't want to spend too much time lightening up your space, but keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right. So what happens if the patient finds out that they need glasses, but they also have some complication? Let's say a cataract.
So we are really fortunate this year, Aaron, to have a doctor with us, a doctor of optometry, a little different from a surgeon, but they coexist because they help each other out. So often practices have an ophthalmologist who does surgery, and then a doctor of optometry.
We're okay? Still alive? All right.
Good.
So that doctor of let's go see if we can. Oh my goodness, this is the first time I've seen them not busy all morning. Jennifer.
So we have a very famous doctor of optometry, Jennifer Lucky, who's
Come on
from
over this way. Let's see if we can get the patient's pass.
The Northern Virginia area. So this is the first time in a long time we've been able to have their service. So we thank you for volunteering.
It's been great. It's one
Tell us what you do.
So any patient who potentially has cataracts or strabismus or potentially a surgery that could be done in the fall, I evaluate them and get their information, and dry eyes or burning eyes or all the kind of sandy gritty stuff here as well.
Great. Well, you're doing amazing work. We know you've been pretty much slammed all day long. So
all week.
All week. You've been a busy person. So we're thankful for you, and we'll let you get back to doing your magic. I should also mention there are a lot of translators here working with us.
So we are really fortunate that with the advanced work, we get students from schools that assist with the translation. Often they're high school students, some college students, but they are invaluable with the assistance they provide, because not all of us speak fluent Spanish. So it's very important to be able to communicate between our Spanish colleagues and our Spanish patients.
They seem to bring a lot of energy. I see a lot of smiles.
And of course, they get the day off from school.
Oh, there you go. Well, what else would one want, right? All right. So now let's say for some of the patients, they've gone to the autorefractor, they get their prescription, and it does not send them to the doctor. They go straight to glasses, right?
And now you're seeing the team that takes the prescription and fits the glasses to the prescription as best they can. So all of these glasses are donated through the Lions Club in the United States, and they are free to our patients. So as Aaron mentioned, we do our very best to serve the lowest income patients who do not have access as we do in the United States and wherever we live. We're a fortunate group.
Right. So they don't need to pay anything. They just need to arrive. not everyone is able to read and write. We'll help them with that, get their
Good
paperwork
point.
done.
Yes.
We also work with them if they do need surgery and they get this doctor's note.
Yes.
How do we follow up on that, or what do we do?
With that record, we're able to keep a list of patients that need surgery. And that's why a contact is so important for us, whether it's a phone number, etc. So we bring a surgical team in November, and those patients will be seen by us and, if possible, receive the surgery, whether it might be cataract surgery, and another very needy surgery is strabismus repair, particularly in children. So that's another wonderful service that we are able to provide through the expertise of the physicians and surgeons we bring with us.
But I think it's also, that shows how it's very important that we have staff here year round,
Yes.
and we have a team
Good point.
that's here that can do that follow-up
Yes.
with those patients, because in a lot of cases, they're lower income, they may not have their own, well, almost none of them have their own cars.
Right.
And so we're able to follow up with them. Some of them are literally riding horses into our clinics. None today, none on horses
No, we
today.
did have
but
one, didn't we?
We did, was that Wednesday? Somebody
Wednesday.
rode up on a horse.
Yep. And got his glasses.
Indeed. But it's also interesting because I've seen our intake team has done an amazing job with trying to make sure the lowest income patients are served. And I saw a beautiful case yesterday of an older gentleman who came in and had severe cataracts, essentially blind, with the very little vision that he has. We did get him a pair of reading glasses, but more importantly, the doctor prescribed a surgery for cataracts. And then this gentleman did not have a phone number for us to contact, for us to follow up with. So in a lot of those cases, we're taking their neighbor's number,
Yes.
or their parents, their kid's number, their family's number, or we send them home with a note that says, "Dear family member, call us. We can get services that'll meet this person's optical needs."
I think one of the things you mentioned is how far some of our patients come from for service, particularly from the rural areas, and transportation is not easy. The roads are not well cared for. Rains actually destroy the roads.
Absolutely.
So some of our patients walk hours to get service. And I think that is a really important thing to think about when you're providing services, how much they are needed and how patient and willing our friends are who
Absolutely.
come seeking.
Well, and this problem is the reason that we formed our rural development and rural clinics program. We were seeing people who, for the most basic needs, you get an emergency, an injury, or a pregnant mother giving birth, and you're talking about 4 hours of walking down a mountain while sick or while injured. It's terrible. So that's why we've been building clinics in the rural areas. But we see that when we come in with these specialized services, some of our patients are coming from those further away places. And today in the city, I think we're seeing more urban, low-income patients. Sometimes when we're in those rural areas, they're walking hours to get there if they don't have a horse.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's
so
good.
we kind of digress, and
Indeed.
we're going to take you on to the next step, which is the actual glasses that are
There we go.
provided. So
It's the solutions.
the solution. So the team over here is actually taking that prescription, and behind they've organized all those glasses with prescription readings, and they're picking them out. They're also providing, I think, the extra lovely surface of fitting it to their face, making sure that the patient is happy.
Yeah,
So, and I
absolutely.
love that.
Well, and that's the whole point of it is to make sure the patient is actually happy. And, if they have a concern, we try to address it. And it's beautiful. Right. It's fun to see, like, the kid gets this glasses for the first time, and it's just fun. So why don't we take a look at what that is, what's going on over here?
I think I'm going to also point out, when you're filming them taking or getting their glasses, look at our volunteers and the smiles. They are the most joyous group.
It's fantastic. Even the translators, students doing something new.
They just...
So come on in and we'll take a look at what it is that's going on here with our patients. You can see we have teams. Each team is one optician or technical person grabbing the glasses and the prescription matching. So they'll look at the card with the prescription, and with the help of their translator, they manage to find a prescription that matches them and share them with them. In some of these cases, these are nearsighted or farsighted, or sometimes both. And so we'll get them a couple pairs of glasses.
Right.
You can leave with both, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's good. It's good. So we'll get them the opportunity to try them out, and you can see the translators are helping them. It's pretty neat.
And one of the final steps is that, and bonus, is that they can come pick up a free pair of sunglasses. I don't know if you realize, or our audience realizes, that the sun causes a lot of damage to our eyes. So here the sun is particularly warm and bright and hot. So we have sunglasses over here. Before they leave, they come. And this gentleman has been dispensing the sunglasses.
This is Bill, one of our volunteers. So we're just showing around a little tour of our glasses team.
And it's a nice glasses team.
It is a fantastic team, very joyful team. So very good.
Thank you.
After they finish the eye care glasses distribution, which is again up to 3 pairs of glasses depending on their needs, then they're off on their way, usually with a smile, sometimes wearing their glasses out the door, and we're on to the next patient. And that way we get through hundreds of patients a day. Sometimes we can get through 500-600 a day, depending on how many come in,
right,
how many of our volunteer translators there are. But it's pretty neat to see so many people help with glasses. And you can see over here, our shelves look pretty worn now, but that is probably 2,000 pairs less glasses than we started with. So it's exciting to see the number we've been able to give out. And you can see Sue right here, our team lead, is customizing glasses under heat. Some pretty cool stuff. So.
You know, and I think, Aaron, another interesting aspect of this volunteer group is their brains start to percolate and say, look, next year we can do this, this, and this to make it better. So it's always improving, I think.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
And volunteers are the core of what we do.
Absolutely. Our volunteers, Honduran volunteers, American volunteers, is the only way we're able to do what we do.
Absolutely.
So we're a small team with a big impact.
Yep.
So we're excited to be able to share some of this with you and show you what we do on a day-to-day basis. It may look a little hectic, and it is.
Yes.
But it's really productive, and we see a lot of people leaving with smiles. So thank you for joining us. We hope it's a little bit informative. Hope it gives you a little glimpse inside our world.
Right.
Thank you.